Folks, let's dive into the big chess game that's unfolding over in Europe and how it's starting to look a lot like a strategy right out of the Trump playbook, focusing on strong, smart deals. The European Union, they're stepping up their game, trying to tighten their grip on Turkey by sweetening trade deals in 2024. But here's where it gets interesting. Turkey's got an eye on BRICS. That's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Why? Because Turkey's tired of waiting around for Brussels to make a move. Now, think about it. Joining BRICS could be a goldmine for Turkey. We're talking about a powerhouse bloc that covers around 40% of the global population and a big chunk of the world's economy. Imagine the doors that could open for Turkish goods and services. And it's not just about selling stuff. This could be a ticket to a flood of investments and cutting-edge tech, especially from giants like China and Russia. Turkey could boost its infrastructure and tech sectors big time, stepping up its game on the global stage. And here's a kicker. BRICS is shaking things up with the greenback, pushing for deals in their own currencies and even cooking up a new reserve currency. That's music to the ears of anyone who's had it up to here with dollar dominance, like Turkey, which is looking to dodge those pesky currency swings that can wreak havoc on an economy. On the world stage, Turkey's play with BRICS could be a clever move to balance the scales, keeping its options open with the West while gaining clout in this multipolar world. This isn't just about economics, folks. It's about having a seat at the big table, influencing global decisions without being hemmed in by the old guard. Back at the EU's corner, they're not just sitting back. They're revamping the old customs union deal, adding bells and whistles like service cooperation, public procurement, and eco-friendly growth. And let's not forget managing migration, a hot topic that's been a thorn in their side since the 2016 deal with Turkey. So what do you think? Is Turkey playing a masterstroke by flirting with BRICS while keeping the EU on a string? It's a high-stakes game of global monopoly, and Turkey's not just playing, they're playing to win. Despite all these diplomatic dances and trade talks, Turkey is eyeing a spot with BRICS, looking to shake things up by diversifying its economic partnerships way beyond the usual Western power circle. This move isn't just about trade. It's about Turkey stamping its authority on the global stage, pushing its foreign policy agenda to broaden its economic and political clout. It's clear that Turkey is playing a long game, aiming to leverage its strategic position between East and West. Now let's take a moment to appreciate the saga of Turkey's relationship with the European Union. It's a real roller coaster, folks. Picture this. It's 1959, and Turkey knocks on the door of what was then the European Economic Community. Fast forward a few years, and they've got themselves an associate membership with the EEC by 1963. But that's just the beginning. Turkey officially threw its hat in the ring for full membership in 1987, but Europe wasn't ready to roll out the welcome mat, citing a laundry list of issues from economic troubles to the thorny Cyprus conflict. Despite these setbacks, Turkey didn't just sit back. They joined the EU customs union in 1996, syncing up their economy with Europe. By 1999, they were officially on the candidate list, and in 2005, the real talks began. But let's not sugarcoat it. Progress has been as slow as molasses, with a whole heap of chapters in the accession talks still unopened by 2021. And here's the part that really gets the West jittery: Turkey's human rights track record and some democratic backsliding, especially after the 2016 coup attempt and the tightening grip of President Erdogan. Then there's the Cyprus issue, a historical headache that's still a major sticking point, with Turkey's troops in northern Cyprus stirring the pot. So, what's the takeaway here? Turkey's looking at BRICS like it might be the next best club to join, where it can play a bigger role without the West constantly looking over its shoulder. This isn't just about getting a seat at the table. It's about choosing which table might let them lead a few rounds. Now, I've got to ask for a quick favor. If you're finding this discussion enlightening, smash that like button. Your likes and comments not only mean the world to us, they also help more people get informed. And if you haven't already, consider watching the whole video to support our channel. We really value your engagement, and it helps us keep bringing you these deep dives into what's happening around the world. Thank you for being part of our community. But let's touch on a key point here that stirs up quite the debate. Turkey's cultural fabric, primarily its Muslim majority, often sparks discussions on its fit within the European Union, traditionally seen as secular and liberal. Some folks argue that Turkey's cultural identity might not mesh well with the EU's values. But let's remember, diversity is the spice of life, and understanding different perspectives is key in international relations, right? Now, if you're enjoying this deep dive into Turkey's strategic maneuvers, do me a solid, smash that like button. It really helps us out. And don't just watch and go. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your feedback drives our content, and we're here to bring you the best insights. Thanks a ton. Now, back to the chessboard. Turkey's not just sitting around waiting for the EU to call. They're eyeing bigger, maybe better, opportunities with groups like the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, SCO, and BRICS. Feeling stuck in the EU waiting room, Turkey's looking to shake hands with some of the big players in the East. Since 2012, Turkey's been hanging out with the SCO as an observer, and it's clear they want more from this relationship. Picture this: President Erdogan, not just attending but playing a central role at SCO summits. This organization isn't small potatoes. It includes heavyweights like China, Russia, India, and Pakistan. Erdogan making moves at these summits, like the upcoming one in Kazakhstan, shows Turkey is serious about deepening these Eastern ties. And then there's BRICS. When Russia's Putin gives Turkey a nod for its BRICS aspirations, you know it's not just talk. Turkey's Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan isn't just attending meetings. He's advocating for Turkey's seat at the table, aiming to diversify who they rely on in the global arena. This strategic dance Turkey's doing, weaving between Western alliances and emerging global powers, showcases a savvy foreign policy. It's about maximizing benefits from all corners of the globe, leveraging Turkey's unique spot straddling East and West. But this doesn't come without whispers of worry from the West, particularly about Turkey's long-term plans and its commitments to NATO. All right, let's delve into the current landscape of EU-Turkey relations, which is heating up with some strategic moves from the EU. They're rolling out a new three-stage plan aimed at ramping up engagement with Turkey. This includes more frequent high-level talks focused on critical issues like trade, energy, and migration. These aren't just any meetings. They're aimed at ironing out existing kinks, strengthening ties, and setting the stage for more in-depth economic and political cooperation. Now, onto the financial side of things. The European Investment Bank, EIB, is gearing up to restart its operations in Turkey after pulling back due to previous concerns. This is a big deal because it means more money flowing into Turkish infrastructure and development, which is a win-win for boosting economic ties. Then there's the Customs Union, which has been in place since 1995, but is now set for a major facelift. The EU and Turkey are looking to modernize this agreement to cover more sectors, like agriculture and services, which could really smooth out trade issues and bring Turkey's standards closer to the EU's playbook. But let's not ignore the elephant in the room. Turkey's EU accession talks have been a thorny issue, with several EU countries having strong reservations. Germany, led by voices like Chancellor Merkel, has been pretty vocal, pushing back due to concerns about Turkey's track record on human rights and the rule of law, not to mention some high-profile arrests that have ruffled feathers. Austria is another staunch opponent, pointing to Turkey's crackdowns post-2016 coup attempt and what they see as a slide away from democratic norms under President Erdogan's administration. And then there's France, where the stance has wobbled a bit over the years, but the overarching worry remains about whether Turkey aligns well with European values. Even Belgium has joined the chorus, with recent calls to halt negotiations altogether over issues related to democratic principles and European values. Let's unpack the complex web of international relationships and strategic shifts that Turkey is navigating as it looks to broaden its global alliances. The situation with Cyprus and Greece is particularly delicate. While both countries theoretically support Turkey's accession to the EU, they've got a laundry list of conditions tied to long-standing territorial and political disputes. Cyprus and Greece are insisting that Turkey needs to address these sore points, including the Cyprus issue and improving bilateral relations, before any talk of EU membership can proceed in earnest. Now, shifting gears to Turkey's play on the global stage with BRICS. Turkey's looking to diversify its partnerships and reduce its reliance on Western-centric institutions. Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan has been vocal about Turkey's ambitions to join BRICS, but he's clear on one thing. This move isn't about turning away from NATO or the EU. Instead, Turkey views BRICS as a complementary platform that could enhance its economic ties and amplify its influence globally. Russia, for its part, is rolling out the welcome mat for Turkey. President Vladimir Putin has been supportive, indicating that Turkey's membership bid will be a key topic at upcoming BRICS meetings. The dialogue is heating up, with Fidan's recent visit to China leading to talks about boosting economic ties, with China keen on importing more Turkish goods. But here's where it gets sticky: the defense sector. Turkey's relationship with Germany is under the spotlight, especially with President Erdogan's push for Germany to greenlight the sale of Eurofighter Typhoon jets to Turkey. This comes on the heels of Turkey downsizing a massive $23 billion deal for F-16s with the US and navigating complex deals involving Russian defense systems and nuclear plant projects. Yet, despite Erdogan's lobbying, Germany seems hesitant, mainly due to a cocktail of diplomatic strains, including Turkey's military actions in Syria, its acquisition of Russian air defense systems, and the contentious issue of ratifying Sweden's NATO membership. This web of military, economic, and political threads shows Turkey in a tightrope act between fostering new alliances with powers like BRICS and managing existing tensions within NATO and its aspirations towards the EU. How Turkey navigates these waters could redefine its role on the global stage and reshape its relationships both in the East and the West. The interplay between the large Turkish diaspora in Germany and Turkey's potential EU membership adds layers of complexity to the already tangled web of German-Turkish relations. The Turkish community in Germany isn't just significant in numbers, it's a potent political force, deeply intertwined with the politics of their homeland. Let's break it down. The Turkish diaspora in Germany is profoundly divided, with many maintaining strong political and cultural ties to Turkey. The Turkish government, particularly under President Erdogan's administration, doesn't just passively observe this. Instead, it actively engages with the diaspora through organizations like the Union of European Turkish Democrats, UETD, and religious groups like DB. The Turkish government has extended its influence, turning these bodies into tools for political mobilization within Germany. This has not only heightened tensions within the Turkish community itself, but has also strained the community's relationship with broader German society. These divisions often spill over into the diplomatic arena. Erdogan's confrontational rhetoric and controversial actions, like the accusations of Nazi practices against Germany or pushing forward divisive referendums, have significantly strained German-Turkish relations. Furthermore, Germany's concerns about Turkey's track record on human rights, its drift towards authoritarianism, and its aggressive foreign policy moves, such as military interventions in Syria and disputes in the Eastern Mediterranean, compound these tensions. These are significant reasons behind Germany's reluctance to fully back Turkey's EU accession bid. Adding another layer, Germany must navigate the domestic political landscape where the significant Turkish population isn't just a community, but a critical voting bloc. German politicians find themselves walking a tightrope, balancing between international diplomatic pressures and the domestic political implications of their Turkish constituents. In wrapping up today's discussion, it's clear the dynamics between Turkey and the EU, particularly through the lens of German-Turkish relations, are far from straightforward. They're shaped by a complex mix of international diplomacy, domestic politics, and diaspora influences, each adding its own twist to the narrative. Thank you for tuning in. If this analysis has offered you new insights or sparked further interest, please show your support by hitting the like button and subscribing to our channel. Until next time, keep the conversation going and stay informed.